Alright, so get as much information from your customer as you can. It'll help you save time in the field, and it'll help your customer. If it's just a water issue or a breaker that's tripped because there's a lightning storm, their pool will start heating 3 minutes later instead of say you can't get out there for 2 days. Alright, and then when you approach the unit, I always, and you probably don't need to, but I always I always go like that and check for 240 volt. And then, if you don't get that, but you hear a buzzing like there is power going there, one thing that can happen is that the breaker can sometimes fail and send the same 110 to each one. So you won't get 240, but when you check this to ground,
you get 110 one, but not 110 the other.
No, you'll have 110 and 110. But when you go like that, it's not 240 because it's the same 110.
It's the same pole.
Yeah, something happens inside the breaker and it feeds 110 out of both legs. So 240 has to be here, not just 110 to ground, 110 to ground. If you don't have the 240 but you hear the buzzing, then you can tell them, hey, it's your breaker. And I have to tell them to get an electrician because I'm not a registered electrician, and if I change it and something happens, they'll sue me. So, call your electrician. But breakers are easy to swap out.
It depends on the situation with us. So there are times when we're like, you need to call an electrician.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Once you verify you got the 240, then you have to start thinking of your symptoms. Why am I here? Was this cycling? Was this is there something visually wrong with what I see? Do I see charring here? Or if it's rodent damage, you kind of just have to inspect for wires chewed, make sure all the wires are clean all the way. Do you guys ever see mice in there?
Yeah.
That's just a matter of nasty smell, and you stick some gloves on and wash your hands. So then you start with a 24 volt, and the easiest place to do it, maybe I should do it over here because you guys see how it's easy. So you make sure you've got 240 across, and if you don't have it, but you're suspecting the breaker thing, you can touch here for ground, and then 110 and 110 breaker. But if you got the 240 volt, the next thing you're trying to check is to make sure the 24 volt has a place to begin, which is the transformer. So here's the one leg of it coming out. So I'll touch here. There's the secondary on the contactor. There's a second terminal. You could use both. Hold here, and then the first place that's outside available is the black wire coming from the thermostat. You can touch there. If this is on, you'll have 24 volts. You can, if that doesn't give you 24 volts and you think that there's something wrong here, then pull this off and check yellow to yellow, and you got 24 volts here, so you know it's going down into the thermostat, but it's not coming back out to here. This is the black wire for the thermostat. It's just that there's no way to really
Get on it.
Right, without taking it apart. Right.
So I try here first.
Right.
And if I have the 24 volts, then we're good, and then I'll go forward. Go to the top of the
Pressure switch.
Yeah, the water pressure switch. I'm going to say top, but really what you want to make sure of is that you're on this is the in. I don't know how old they were. I think we've always done them on the bottom, but you want to make sure you're going to the thermostat's wire first, and then to the high pressure switch's wire second.
Where it's coming out.
Yeah, out. Because if these two are reversed, this switch doesn't care which way it comes in or out.
Right.
So you go to the other side, and if you don't have it, then it's here. And you can look visually, turn the pump on visually and look. Is that thing engaging? That's that piston hitting the nipple of the switch. And then, then you know where to go from there. Is this clear tube connecting? Is there something clogging the filter of the pump?
Yeah, we've been pretty good with diagnosing most of that stuff. Where we've been having problems is your capacitors and tripping the breaker.
Okay. So the next place is the low pressure switch. You're going to just go to the other side here. This is going to tell you refrigerant problems. If you got 24 volt, nothing, then that means there's 24 volt going down into the low pressure switch but not coming out. It's a refrigerant issue, or it's the switch itself.
Right.
At this point, just grab these.
And see, at that point, when we run into that, we stop.
Well, you guys should be able to go a step further if you have gauges.
Okay.
Put the low side on and the high side on.
How do you know, I guess one says low and one says high?
The suction discharge.
Suction's low, discharge
Right,
is high.
because suction is a description for the compressor sucking the refrigerant in.
Right.
And discharge is the
Pushing out.
So low side, high side.
No, when they put it in, a little bit of refrigerant comes out and it blows white.
That little squirt is fine.
Yeah.
The foam is probably either green or orange. Depends on the dye. We've used a few different dye colors in the past. They're all that for us.
And the little bit of refrigerant that you lose when you're putting that on is not an issue.
No, not at all.
So there's a plate, so that's all we need to do is pull that plate off and connect
Yeah,
right there.
that one's a different style. This is the way we ship them now with the hole.
Right.
Because I've begged and pleaded with them long enough.
Yeah, how were they
I can
before
reach
the
my
older
hand.
ones?
The older one, these two things actually came up.
Came up, okay.
Right.
So with this hole, now you can actually change the thermostat. If you reach in far enough, you can,
Oh, and
you can get to the back to
too.
this. Yeah, you can pull the thermostat
Oh
out.
my God,
The
yeah.
temperature sensor.
Yeah, because
You
you
can
can
actually
actually
do-
no access.
Yeah, here's the tube for this. You can replace this without. This made me very happy. I just wish it had on all the units going back.
Yeah, because before I changed the bottom of those exchangers, you can't get that side of it.
Yeah.
They open just
I'll
like-
show you that technique just in case you have older units,
Yeah.
but this is a lifesaver for me. I wish it was like this big.
Yeah, no kidding. When you're older units, how do you recommend you change the thermostat capillary down there?
Yeah, on the old ones.
In
and
through
stuff.
there?
On these,
On the older ones?
on the older one, I leave that one as well now. I take this, and this.
Yeah.
Then the bottom two, well, I usually leave this one in.
Take the
And
whole front off.
You can peel this back. Since it's plastic, it'll bend a little. You can peel it back enough to reach all. And seriously, I'm laying on the ground with my
That's
arm all the way in,
Yeah.
and I'm feeling it, and then
You can do that even with your water lines hooked up? You pretty much
Yeah, the water lines won't move. They're still in here.
Yeah.
On the newer ones with these rings, the old ones didn't have these rings,
Right,
so you
yeah.
can slide. You can actually slide the back panel as far back
Right,
until
you
you
could
get a
pull
union or
that,
something.
yeah.
But on these ones, I'll sometimes, if I can't get in there and it's too tight, I'll try first. But if I have to, I'll undo this ring to allow it to slide back. This is on its own thread. There's a 2-inch like regular taper, and then there's a larger thread up here for this.
The real issue over there is your conduit for your electric. If it's
Yeah.
they can tight it.
And typically, I need in from this side to look at stuff anyway. If you try to get in on this side, it's hard to get in and turn to go around the back of the heat exchanger. When you go in from this side, you can just go straight to the back side.